on from Overtime Heroics? My name is Danny Podolsky, and I'm joined here with Justin, the guitar hero, Jaynes. Justin, thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, no sweat, dude. Appreciate you guys, or you having me again, man. Yeah, that's all. I got, you're the original OG of this whole bet masquerade. So I think everyone needs to know that, and I appreciate you getting a hold of me again.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much for supporting me with the whole ESPN thing, and then just telling me that, because that kind of got me on notice too. And I guess the first thing I'd like to ask you is that was sort of the first time I think you got a lot of attention from a lot of big sites, and you'd been in the UFC before, but what's it like getting sort of that notice?
It's actually when you and I had talked about this bet that I was going to do, this wasn't something that I thought was going to someone was going to grab and run with it. I didn't expect any of the publicity. I think the worst part about the whole thing is being called a liar, man. And it fucking sucks. Now I have to go back. I got to contact all my bookies this week. I got to have them send me over proof that this actually happened. Chael Sonnen, a legend of the sport, one of the best shit talkers in the game, came on a podcast, commended me for this, and then said he just doesn't believe it happened. So this morning I'm contacting all my bookies and telling them that this is a real thing. And, I have to scroll through our text messages throughout the weeks and find the pieces that say that, hey, look, all right, I've put in this and put in that. And it's actually very frustrating because right now I'm at, honestly, one of the lowest points in my life, and I have to fucking try to vouch for myself. And it really sucks, but it is what it is, man. It comes with the territory. I didn't think that I'd have to do this, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's fine. And I'll get through this.
Has the feedback generally been positive, or is there a lot more negativity?
It's more positive than not, and I'm very grateful for all the positivity. And, I love it when I'm getting a lot of people of all ages, young guys, teenage guys, older guys, talking about how I've inspired them and how, they get goosebumps when they think about this situation and how maybe I've inspired them to do a little bit more with themselves. So, that's all great. But at the end of the day, I'd say it's probably like 30% negative. And, post your bet slips. Like, hey, look, you know what? Bet slips are coming, boys. Like, I really didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to dig deep into my personal stuff because, again, it's none of their business on where I'm betting, who I'm betting. But, since Chael came out and called me a liar, I contacted one of Chael's good friends today. Actually, I'm in a text thread with him as we speak. That's kind of why I delayed this whole thing. And I'm sending him all my bet slips. I'm sending him all my text messages. And just so at the end of the day, I can just say, fuck off, basically.
I mean, from my perspective, I have so much respect for you to put everything on the line for that fight. I think where people sort of go wrong here is that they think that you're just doing it for attention. I think you're more doing it just to show that you believe in yourself. If that's a fair statement.
You're absolutely right, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to win. I think it ended up being like 18 or 19,000 that went through. Originally, I think I told you, or I told somebody that, my coaches wanted to ride with me, and they did. They all said they believed in me. They all wanted to roll their bets with me. But at the end of the day, I paid my management. I paid my coaches, even against, they told me not to. It is what it is, man. They put in work. They put in job. I'm the one that fell short. So I don't think it'd be right not to pay them. But again, out of pocket. So, it is what it is. But again, it was more about, it wasn't all about the money. I mean, there's a big part of it was, don't get me wrong, I wanted to win. I wanted the extra money, but I wanted to show people how much I really believed in my ability and I believed in myself. And, I wasn't about to put a $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 bet down. I wanted to show people, hey, look, like I'm putting all my money in, you know what I mean? So if I fail, I got to figure something out here. And, honestly, I really didn't think I was going to lose this fight, man. I thought the stars lined up perfect. My training camp was perfect. I was injury free. Everything lined up perfect, but the outcome, man. And I really, I was prepared for all outcomes, but, I keep waking up every day thinking it was a nightmare, man, because again, I didn't see this happening. Again, I'll work through it. I'm prepared for it. And I'm hoping that, I'm going to chop it up to maybe I inspired some people to believe in themselves more. And, I'm not going to, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, well, that's worth 25 grand. Of course it's not. But it is something. And it does make me feel good that hopefully I've inspired some people.
Do you think your willingness to bet on yourself kind of has a larger implication about fighter pay? I know a lot of people have been pushing for guys like you who are fighting on these prelims to be getting paid a lot more.
No, actually, that's one thing I haven't said, and I've been meaning to say it, is I'm very happy with my fight, or with my pay. You know what I mean? I think some of these guys are really spoiled and they think they deserve more than they get. I'm very content with my pay. I could live the rest of my career, making what I make. Fuck, if I win that fight, I almost win 50, or I almost make 50 grand. I mean, at the end of the day, after I pay my coaches and management, that 50 turns into, 35. But man, if you're winning 2-3 fights a year, you're almost making 100 grand. And, I don't know about you, but, I come from a very, very blue collar family. For the last 10 years prior to getting into the UFC, I've personally made less than $20,000 a year. And I live like a king, or at least I feel I live like a king. I have everything I want. I got my guns. I have my fishing equipment. I got my camouflage. I got my bow and arrow. That's all I care about is hunting and fishing and, camping and stuff like that. So, I've lived in my opinion, like a king off $20,000 for the last 10 years. So anytime I make more than 20, 30, 40, or last year I made 100,000, like I feel like I'm a millionaire. I feel like I'm loaded rich.
Has the UFC officially told you that was it? Like, have you been cut, I'd say, or is the door still open for you to get another fight?
The door is still open. It's not official. I have not been cut. I've been to the UFC PI. I went to go get checked out, the other day. I went and took some of the people I work with at the PI, took them some gifts, just a small token of appreciation. Officially, I have not been cut yet. I thought I would have by now, to be honest. I thought that, they would have probably cut me Sunday, Monday, but here we are on Wednesday. I'm still technically in contract. I don't know what they're going to do with me. I don't know if they're just, I'm not sure where I go from here. If the UFC cuts me, it is what it is, man. I can go back to the regional show, get a win or two, get brought back, or I can go to a different organization. I'd obviously love to stay with the UFC. I feel that I've been treated so well, given so many opportunities, and unfortunately, I just haven't been able to seal the deal on much of it. So I could sit here and beg for my job. I could sit here and beg for another opportunity, but at the end of the day, they have a plan, and I'll just, whatever the outcome is at the end of the day is, I'll bounce back from it.
Is there a path that you sort of have in mind if it's not with the UFC to get back there? And if it's not with the UFC, how quickly do you want to get back?
I don't know, man. I need to take some time. Like I said, this was a very hard loss. I genuinely felt the universe and all the stars were lined up, and I genuinely felt I was supposed to win this fight. As much as I said I was prepared for all outcomes, again, I'm going to reiterate, I was prepared for all outcomes. I just didn't expect it to happen. And you know what I mean? It wasn't, man, it's just thinking about it is just, it's pretty heartache, man. I've been in these holes before. This is by far the deepest one, but I'll dig out of it.
When it went to the judges' scorecards, did you think you had won the fight?
Well, I knew it was going to be close. I thought that I did more. See, here's the thing with judges and shit is it depends what judge you get. One of those judges, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about shit about somebody about their job and stuff, but 30-27, really, and you know what? I'm not even going to stoop that low and start complaining about this terrible judge that needs to be fired. I don't want to stoop that low, because you know what? That would just make me just like the critics that are messaging me saying I suck at fighting, but 30-27 is obnoxious. I don't feel that Charles hit me with any devastating shots by any means. I didn't feel that he had very much power. the first round, I mean, I feel he hit me with more volume, but again, he's hitting my hands, he's hitting my forearms, I'm making him miss. And when I hit him, there were thuds, there were cracks. I know he was, I know he was hurt, I know he was hurt a couple times, I think at the end of the first round was close, but if you want to go by damage, I feel that I won the fight, or I won that round. Second round come out, I took him down off his leg kick. I got a great knee right in his face. Bah! Just cracked him right with a knee right in the head. I mean, that was a solid knee. I was very surprised how solid that knee was when it landed. Then we ended up in a weird scramble position. He's just hitting me with these little weak ass punches. And I'm talking to Mike Beltran. I'm like, hey, dude, like, if you listen to the commentary, I'm like, he's hitting me in the back of the head. We're just sitting here, like, fucking stand us back up. Like, this is fucking bullshit. I mean, I guess that he's holding position, while he's on top. My arms are tangled up, but he's not doing any damage or serious damage. He's not in a position to where he can finish the fight. And we're just stuck there. Finally, we end up scrambling out of it, this and that. And third round comes out. My coach is like, all right, you might be down 2 rounds. You don't need to finish. And here I come in, swinging and cracking, bang, bang. I know I clipped him on the chin. I saw him wobble. In the fight, in the heat of the moment of the fight, I didn't realize he was as rocked as he was. After I rewatched the fight, I can kick myself in the ass. I just didn't realize he was as hurt as he was. And I thought that I could take him down and sub him. And the takedown came easy, just like I expected. And the side choke, I found the side choke really quick, just like I expected to. And unfortunately, he's a black belt. He's a legit black belt grappler, man. He's tough to sub. He's tough to finish. And, at the end of the day, I almost finished the fight 10 times more than he finished the fight. And, I just wasn't able to convince the judges otherwise. So it is what it is, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and be one of the critics that keep messaging me and tell me how shitty I am as a fighter. I'm not going to tell these judges whether I think they're shitty or whether I think they're not shitty. I think, the outcome talks, says enough for itself. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the second round was definitely his round. I think the third round was definitely your round. From my perspective, at least, the first round I thought was close, but I think if you look in terms of who landed the more powerful shots, it was pretty clearly yours. But I understand, I understand Rosa, the 29-28, the 30-27. When just me as the fan, when I heard that, I was like, that's a weird one right there. In rewatching the fight, and you kind of answer this, do you wish you had not gone for that takedown and laid some more strikes on him?
Dude, I tell you what, being a fighter, and I could say I wish this and I wish that, but something in the heat of the moment, it's like you can't go back and say what you wish you would have done a lot of times, because in the heat of the moment, how was I feeling? Were my arms tired? I know my punches were slowing down. They didn't have the same pop on them. So, like, in the heat of the moment, I'm cracking him. I'm hitting him in the forearms. How did my arms feel? How did my gas tank feel? I can't recall exactly how I felt. I do remember thinking after I cracked him, like, man, my punches are slowing down. I can't finish him. When I threw that right hand, or no, I clinch him. We go for a knee, I go for a knee. I missed by an inch. And when he went to go kind of like reach over me, it's just something I've trained over and over and over. I mean, I guess I could say I regret it, but I don't know, man. Here's the thing. Had I taken him down and subbed him, which I planned to do, I'd be a genius. My fight IQ would be through the roof, but I didn't. So I'm the worst fucking fighter in the world. It's just the critics that are on the other side of the cage don't ever understand that feeling or ever understand. It's like the whole Nate Diaz fight that hurt when he hurt Leon Edwards. And I was one of the guys like, man, he's hurt. What are you doing? Why aren't you finishing? And I trained with Jake Shields, who's friends with Nate, who cornered him in that fight. And he goes, Nate didn't realize how much he was hurt. And I'm just like, how do you not know how much he's hurt? And you know what? I got to experience the exact same thing the next weekend, man. And it fucking is what it is, dude. Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I've personally never been in a fight. I'm not a fighter. But I think sometimes fans can kind of look at in that moment when guys hurt and think, oh, you can just go and lay some shots and finish them. And it definitely has to be much tougher than it looks. I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate you so much for coming on. I think my final thing would be, do you have a message out there just for everyone who was talking shit to you?
I don't have a message, man. You know what? I got people saying, oh, you owe me money. Come collect it. 4055 West Sunset. There Monday through Friday, giving out free ass whoopings. everyone, all the haters can go fuck themselves. All the lovers can, you know, stay on the train. I don't know what's next for me. Hopefully I don't get cut. Hopefully I get another opportunity. If I do get cut and I don't get another opportunity, you know what? I'll persevere. I've been in worse situations, and you'll see me on top one day again.